Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Hello, welcome back to another Getting Projects Done. We are continuing our work on the Angry Pig Gator. That is the SkumDrekk beastie from the Kruleboyz. And yeah, we're continuing the highlighting efforts on the flesh. We still got the tail. Oh, geez, almost dropped the damn thing. Got the tail to go, and the other side to begin working on the highlights. Probably also need to work on this side of the forearm as well. But you can see we're starting to make some progress here. Very, very interesting. I'm joined today, right from the hop. Barfing Sheep is sitting in with me today. And yeah, and of course, as always, all my patrons are welcome to join me in the voice chat to, sit in and, I don't know, paint, talk, whatever. Whatever your little heart's desire. What are you working on today?
A tomb dwarf.
A tomb dwarf?
From Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, okay, cool. Do you ever post in the Discord? I don't recall if you've ever posted in like the Discord, like the work in progress.
Not yet.
No, okay. Yeah, no worries.
I will post this guy.
Yeah, cool. Very, very cool. All right, let's just start getting stuck in here. Is there still paint active here? Yeah, there is. Beauty. Beauty, eh?
Oh yeah, but for sure.
Do Canadian accents crack you up?
No.
Oh.
But I'm really fond of them.
Oh, okay. Where am I here? Here we go. How do I want to go about this? I think this is really, really thin. Yeah, this is super thin. So we are just going to start laying it on and continue our feathering process.
I have this humongous zombie ogre for D&D that I'm going to paint.
Oh, nice.
And he is going to be heavily inspired by the gator pigskin.
Cool. Good luck.
Thanks. I might need it.
Well, I'm not saying like good luck, like you're not going to be able to do it. I'm not nothing like that. I'm just especially if spending a lot of time on something is kind of relatively new to your workflow, it can be a bit daunting.
I spend maybe too much time on one model.
Yeah? Okay. All right. So you're no stranger to being really kind of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for here, but spending a bit of time on something that, feels sometimes a little unnecessary, and you kind of just, I don't know, you think, man, time could have been better spent, finishing this off or finishing that off, or,
Yeah, it tends to happen.
Yeah. Do you play a lot of D&D?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Every week.
Oh, yeah? Oh, okay, cool.
I've been DMing for, let's see, 14 years now.
Oh, really? Wow. So you loves yourself some D&D.
Yeah.
I got into D&D, not heavily, but only because of getting into Warhammer. because my buddies and such would play D&D and use models and such. And so that was kind of their way of getting me into it as well.
Yeah, it's great fun.
Yeah. But I wouldn't call myself hardcore into it or anything like that. I enjoy roleplay, but, you know, what attracts me to like this kind of stuff is the tactics of it all, as opposed to D&D, which is, you know, oh fuck off, which is more narrative driven.
Yeah, I get that.
Sorry, I keep moving my palette around. And so you usually DM?
Yeah. I think I've only played 6 or 7 times. Like a full adventure, lasting more than 2 sessions.
That's pretty good. It's quite a bit. Because I realize, like, a lot of times, you know, it can be kind of tricky to get everybody in your gaming group together, and, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes it's a bit like herding cats kind of thing. With some gaming groups, anyway, I've found. I'm probably guilty of being one of the cats.
Yeah, scheduling is always a challenge.
Yeah.
I used to skip classes my last year at well, you call it college, and to go down and play D&D.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. Bad idea. Education is important. He says now.
He says now, yeah, exactly. Well, I would say the exact same thing now. You know, not that like where my path has taken me, but you know, I do see the value in making sure that, you know, especially somebody who, I don't know, kind of lacks direction, you know, to make sure that you at least get the building blocks of a career of some sort happening, you know?
Yep. But I've always been very heavy on the do the things you love. So much so that it cost me. Well, it hasn't cost me because I can always do the necessary classes to go into university. I can always do that. But if I was a bit smarter back then, I would probably have those classes done by now.
Right.
So let's say I wanted a bachelor or a master's in some form of music. I could just go do that now. But instead, I have to take those mandatory classes first.
Yeah, the one that kind of cheesed me off when I was in college, and I was doing fine art, it was, at the time, you know, you're taking all these frickin' English classes and computer sciences classes when, you know, I was so much into my studio work, you know, the painting and the drawing, and, you know, in college we used to get to work with models who would come in and, you know, pose for us and allow us to, you know, draw them and you know, which was fantastic. I truly valued that time because, you know, studying anatomy and all that was pivotal in learning shape and form and, you know, shadow. I miss it sometimes, having that opportunity to have somebody just sit there and just let me draw them.
Well, I mean, isn't Craigslist is a thing?
Yeah, I could. I mean, like, to do it well and to have everything remain professional, I mean, you really should pay for the, you know, the model's time. You know, and Craigslist, I mean, saying Craigslist just conjures up all sorts of imagery and, you know, scenarios that are kind of undesirable. I'm sure it's probably unfounded, but to my brain, I would not want to. But I do miss that aspect of my education then. Old Man Logan, hey there, Chris. How you been, dude? I have been doing pretty good. How about you? I like New York in June. How about you? It's the singing special. Poorly singing.
Is your audio bleeding through to my microphone?
Sounds like sometimes if I'm really loud, I can hear your mic kicking.
Okay.
But right now, no. It was only I think when I was doing my my little intro music, I was hearing myself on your mic.
Oops. Oh,
No,
I have sorted it out.
that's no worries.
Oops.
Oops.
Yeah, I'm dropping planes all over the place.
Oh. Oh. Oops.
I'm trying to find something I can layer over Gore Grunter fur. Like a reddish.
Gore Grunter fur. That is kind of a orangey brown.
Yeah. So I got Deathclaw and Scrag brown, but there's also Ratskin flesh.
Yeah, Ratskin flesh would do it. Gore Grunter, which one is that? Now you got me curious. I gotta look for it. Is this Gore Grunter? Nope. That's Scrag. Doomble.
It looks kind of like a reddish leather. It's got more red than yellow. In contrast to snakebite leather.
Oh, is it a contrast paint?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was looking at my... Oh, yeah, there it is. Right. Okay, yeah. I was looking at the regular paints.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's the bottom there when you let all that sediment sit, right? Yeah. What are you painting? Like, what is the surface that you're working on?
It's red leather.
Oh,
or
okay.
radiation leather. It's all leather. He's just a naked dwarf with a funky mask and leather.
Gotcha.
He's
Well, if you're working with contrast, I mean, you can also think about the undercolor. So if you wanted it to have, if you wanted to push either direction, right, you could lay something fairly bright first, like for example, like Wraithbone or Wraithseer, I should say, or Ushapti Bone or Screaming Skull, something like that, and then lay that on. Or you could also take something like, say, Jakara Orange, and then lay Gorgrunta, where that slight orange or that really orange shift will push that Gorgrunta closer towards orange. Or you could even lay, I wouldn't lay a red down, but something closer to red.
because right now I'm looking at browns with a bit of red in them.
Yeah. Like you could lay something like that down first and then lay Gorgrunta. And I would suggest that you thin Gorgrunta down a bit and then apply it deliberately rather than just kind of, slapping it right onto the figure, right?
I'll try that on the next dude.
Yeah. Just an idea, especially with the contrast, because oftentimes we get caught up in this mentality that, well, we got to either use a white, an off-white of, either like a bone color or a gray, right? But we can also lay other colors underneath that before putting the contrast down to go for interesting looks.
Yeah. I did the boots of the Stanswagon. Those guys I did with Flayed One Flash. And then I took Snakebite leather on top. Push it more towards it like a yellow.
Right, yeah. That's cool. What's happening, Boop?
Not much. I was waiting for, you guys to stop talking so I could go, look at this nerd pain. I wasn't able to sneak in here because I forgot Discord makes that loud.
The blink?
Yeah. I decided I'm going to paint that special Space Marine Sergeant. That's like standing on that rocky base with the Necrons clawing at his feet.
Oh yeah, cool.
I'm gonna paint him as a soldier.
As a soldier of what?
Soul Drinker.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Yeah.
Cool. With the white or gold trim, depending on how far back you want to go. And then trying to freehand that like goblet and laurels that they have as their chapter symbol.
Don't they have a transfer sheet for that?
An official one?
No.
An official one, no. I mean, I could sit there and chop up like various parts of transfers, but why not give freehand a go? Practice.
Yeah.
Do you have a 3D printer?
Huh? Do I have a 3D printer?
Yeah.
I already plastic glued the shoulder pad on.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could go to like Fallout Hobbies and be like, "Yo, I need the custom decal sheets." And they're gonna be like, "Well, minimum order of like 5 or 10." Good practice. I mean, freehanding is a skill.
Yep. Oh, definitely. I mean, like with freehand. I mean, freehanding is just drawing.
And if I don't like it, I'll just paint over it purple.
Yeah, it's up to you.
But with freehanding, I mean, like if you, can you draw?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then you're.
It takes
then,
a while, but I can do it.
But you can do it. Yeah. Okay. Well, then yeah. If freehanding is or if drawing is not that big a deal for you, then yeah.
If he turns into an army, I might hit up like some place that does transfers or 3D sculpt something. But so far it's just one dude, and it's on he's on like a 60mm base or some crap. How big is the base? He's on a freaking huge base. It's like 40. Yeah, he's like on like a 60. So he's more of like a display piece anyway. So. Won't be playing any games with him.
Alrighty. Sip of coffee. Coffee.
I made coffee and I had a Yeti cup, so I had coffee, made some around lunchtime, and it was still warm when I got off work, so that I drank it.
Pretty nice.
But, I did make some progress on my custom chapter that's going to be my chapter going forward, because my Blood Angels are pretty much done. I have about 3 companies worth of Blood Angels, and I might occasionally add through them, but one, I'm tired of painting red. Because I play Gator, I play Blood Angels, I play,
all these red factions, yeah.
all these red factions, yeah.
Yeah.
I play Corn in AOS.
Jeez
like,
Louise.
Red. I mean, I do like painting red. It's just, 3 companies worth of Blood Angels, God knows how many, like, Gator models. God knows how many Corn models for AOS. So, like, yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like myself, with Eldar, It's all Samhan. It's all red. And
and not my old way, but the Cult of the Neve. What's their actual name? What's their frickin' name? Whatever the name for the combined Dark Eldar faction for Enid with Evrain and all that. I don't remember the name.
Inari?
The name right now. The Inari, yes. Their armor also red.
Yeah.
I was like, because I have them. I keep forgetting about them because they're in the box because I'm waiting for new Craft World rules. Meanwhile, I'm painting at Craft World, but I have everything for that for Adepticon. White talk. But my Space Marine chapter going forward is going to be based on the Gauls / Franks. So we're going to be green with teal freehanding, like field degree on them. But I want to change like the Phobos guys, like the Reaver Lieutenant, like the Reavers and stuff. I want to change their knives that they have. I want to get 3D sculpt some like Franciscan throwing axes. I guess.
Meaty choppies.
Yeah. Instead of knives. So it'd be more flavorful to where they would take their inspiration from. So right now I'm sitting on a Blender, trying to figure out how Blender works.
We don't get and some of the other monkeys involved. Quite a few of them are quite knowledgeable.
I've asked one of the other monkeys, and we're currently talking about some other stuff, so I don't want to be like, yo, hey, add this onto the list of things to help me with.
Right.
Because, the monkeys are busy. I am also busy. And in my imagination is endless. So I downloaded Blender. I mean, Blender's free, so I didn't pay lots of money for it. But,
right.
I'm trying to figure out how it works. Because I do that even with my drawing programs on my artist tablet. I don't, you would be like, big brain smart thing would be like go on YouTube and watch tutorials. That's like reading an instruction manual. Who does that?
Yeah.
those kinesthetic learners?
Oh no, like if I'm like building something, like a model kit, I'll sit there and read the instructions. I just don't have the mental capabilities to sit there and watch a video tutorial and then remember everything in the video tutorial.
I'm the type of guy that likes to poke at things until it breaks, and then I fix it. Hopefully. Then it goes to shit, and then I have a good time digging myself out of the hole.
But as far as hobby stuff goes, I'm not really in a painting mood because I'm waiting for paint to come in because I'm out of certain color, or I do not have color. Like, I don't even have a purple. Like, I could mix it, but I don't have, like, purple paint.
How on earth do you not have purple paint?
Just never used it. Okay, let me rephrase that. I have one purple, but it's not true purple. I guess it's more like magenta or something. And I could mix, but I need consistency. I'm not consistent.
Yeah. That is one of the trickier aspects when you are trying to color match.
Like if I was doing the purple one time, like I did for I have some aliens for Scale 75 sci-fi game. I forget what the game's called, and I have the Rift faction for it, which are like these. They're like a cross between orcs and elves. And it's more like a skirmishy game. So they're like a cross between orcs and elves. And their skin is like an ashy gray. And I mixed all the grays. But the thing is, I bought all the models I was going to use in the game when I mixed. So when I mixed the paints, I just painted all the skin on all the models. So I didn't have to write down anything and then hope that, like, you know, the 3-to-1 that I used then was like the 3-to-1 I use in the future.
Oh, so you batch painted the entire thing?
Yep.
That would drive me insane.
That's what I do. If I mix colors, I mean, I'll write it down. I have a little book with all my little color recipes. But current me does not believe future me will sit there and go, okay, 3-to-1, and then do the correct amount of paint. Especially since I switch plans so much based on what I can buy at the moment.
Kim, hey, I'm a bit late. We do mostly want to help each other. Mostly. Yeah, the monkeys, yes, definitely. We try.
Mostly come at night, mostly.
Mostly come out at night.
I should rewatch those movies.
Until we don't want to help each other. I guess I did something hobby related this morning. I scored myself some old Warzone minis.
Oh, really?
So I'm happy about that.
That's cool.
Because it's the minis that only came... Because there is a company that has the license to make the old metal models, but they can't make the plastic ones. And the plastic ones I was able to get were only available in the starter set. I had those models. They were in storage in their box, and they were within another box that had cleaning chemicals in it. And one of the cleaning chemicals containers broke and leaked into the box and melted all the plastic in it.
Oh, really? Jeez Louise.
Yes. So about half the models which was like all the Imperial stuff in there kind of survived, which was fine because that's the main faction I play, and it's easy to replace that stuff because you know everybody at one point played Imperial, so people getting rid of their stuff. It's just like when they get rid of their stuff, there's a lot of Imperial stuff. None of the Bauhaus stuff in the box survived, so I've been scouring the internet for out of print Bauhaus models I can't get anymore. And after a month of searching, I was able to find 10.
Wow.
You just need 20 more.
Did it all melt into one abomination?
No, they just all kind of like melted. Like they were all like individual, but like you know they all like kind of like sat in a pool. So like half the model's fine, and then half the model's like all melted.
You made him into Chaos Bone or Pox Pocket. Nasty boys.
I'm pretty excited. Another word for excited, I think, is chuff. I don't know. What did anybody else do cool or whatever recently? Crystal Dune, I saw that. I know that.
You went and saw Dune?
No, you did.
Oh, I did, yeah.
What other cool stuff people did? I was like, well, Crystal Dune partied so much watching Dune that he canceled stream next day.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't get home until like fucking damn near 2 in the morning, and I probably didn't get to bed till like 4. And
partied hard, man.
yeah, it was just, it wasn't happening.
So I'm probably gonna get 3 Steel Legion squads because they're on last chance to buy until November 7th. Because I have a bunch, but they're painted for another army. I need 3 Steel Legion guys for the paint as like actual Steel Legion, and have Yarick lead them in the battle against the Orc. That's another cool model. That I know as soon as I buy it, they're gonna update it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, Guard Codex coming out. You're not getting a whole new line, but new Yarick model. I'll be like, well, shit, I just bought this one. That's what they did to me with, shoot, what's his name? Let me pull up the Space Marine. One of the guys got Primaris, like, right after I bought his, like, crappy model. Well, I have crappy, but it's
Was it the Shrike model?
No, I've had that one. Or I had that old model.
He's a very tiny boy, the old model.
Tigurius, that's it. Because he was independent of the rest of the, like, launch of Space Marines. He came out with, those, campaign books at the end of 8. And I had just bought his Fine Cats model, and then they're like, new plastic Primaris Tigurius.
Well, did you buy it?
No, because they had the Fine Cats book.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. Okay, well, fuck you already done. Funny how they don't have a Finnish collector.
A Finnish collecting box?
Does that one come with cigarettes and coffee? I just made a joke.
And the thing they give for heroin addicts to get them off.
Well, I was
Psychology.
just making a joke off of, there's a meme where it's like a finished breakfast and it's like coffee and cigarette.
Ooh.
Alright, so the one Phobos lieutenant is still in that, well, not start collecting box anymore, it's a combat patrol.
I'm doing another deep dive in my drawers.
What's that?
I'm doing another deep dive in my drawers.
I forgot to look at the Sunday preview on I don't know what's coming out next week, or Saturday.
Don't know.
I know tomorrow is that Ultramarines banner bearer on Forge World for 30k. That's the third thing. Oh, is it the Kill Team box Saturday?
Oh, probably, yeah.
No, it's just because like all the Warhammer community articles right now are talking about the Kill Team box.
Yeah, it's probably Kill Team.
Kill Team.
Probably showcase the plastic Thunderhawk.
Or no, is it the plastic Thunderhawk is next? Oh no, Sunday preview, celebrate Warhammer. Oh, it's Warhammer Day too. So the Vampire Lord and the new Space Marine Lieutenant will be on GamesWorkshop.com. The Vampire you can also get in your local store.
Kill Team. Are you working for them now?
Kill Team? No, I'm just looking. Kill Team is Saturday.
It does sound like he's
Titanicus is Saturday.
Pitching for them, doesn't it?
I'm just beating Chris to the punch because he's going to look at the pre-orders Saturday. So I'm just like, I want to beat him to the punch. I'm going to pre-orders right now. Oh, there's really big Citadel handles for your monsters creatures.
Yeah, I seen that as well as the assembly.
The assembly thing looks cool, but I would be worried about putting a Gargant on top of that painting handle. It doesn't look, I could be wrong, but it doesn't look like structurally sound, I guess you could say, or stable when you would put it down.
Yeah, hard to say. I mean, we're imagining like, really big models here, but I mean, they're plastic. Like even this little guy here, like this handle I'm holding with is heavier than the model.
Yeah, but those Citadel handles aren't that heavy.
No, shit no.
Because they're also made of plastic.
Well, and the thing I'm not crazy about with the Citadel handles is that their weight it's up here, right? There's no weight to this. And so, I think these should have had a weight in the base. So that
talk about, because the Gargant one is that new one where it's like on that stem, like a wine glass stem.
Yeah.
And it has like a huge honking, because you can fit a Gargant on it. It has like a huge honking like head with the grabby teeth spring thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just worried about like, because I don't like the new setup. I like the old ones. The ones everybody joked was a butt plug.
Yeah.
Because I like them for batch painting a lot, because I didn't have to worry about sticky tap. I would just like pull the springs back, take the model off. I don't know, but putting a big guy up there, kind of like
fills you with dread.
Yeah, because those gargants are pretty big. And they have like a lot of like spindly, fragile bits sticking off of them. But who knows? Maybe they added a weight in those bases.
Possibly. I wouldn't count on it.
70 mil base.
I wouldn't count on it though, considering that the cost of shipping and everything. They want to keep their costs low.
If any monkey is listening and they want to sacrifice their gargant, get that painting handle and then put the gargant on it and then set it on your desk and then bump your desk.
and of course film it so that we can watch it.
Film it so we can watch it.
Watch this.
Evidence.
Yeah. Watch this model get destroyed.
Watch this model get destroyed by falling like a foot over.
Oh, and Warhammer fails.
I've dropped my Wraith Knight from a height of about I would say about 8 feet, and it fell to my table, which was probably about 4 feet. So the total distance it fell was probably about 4 or 5 feet, and it held together just fine. It only one thing broke on it, which was of my design, was a little green stuffed banner I had made for it. That was the only thing that broke.
I'm more worried about because like the new big models they're coming out with have all these like really thin, long pieces.
Yeah.
And you break one of those, fuck, because you've bent the plastic, then it snapped, and you gotta sit there.
Yeah, yeah.
It happens a lot with their new Iron Halos, because their new Iron Halos have like really long, thin spikes on them. Every time I get one, like 90% of the time, one of them is like snapped off or completely bent like 90 degrees. I was right. Tomorrow on Forge World, the Ultramarine Banner Bearer dude goes on sale. The guy with the face everybody's been making fun of the last like 2-3 weeks.
What model's that?
Renus Venatus. Everybody's just been making fun of his face for like the last like 2-3 years.
Kim, I have the paint handles from most of the brands that do miniature handles, and the best one, in my opinion, is the Redgrass Game one with the interchangeable caps. And on second place is the wood handle with the interchangeable cork caps from PK Pro. Cool.
I'm gonna take a look at this banner bearer. What was his name?
Renus Venatus. Or Ramus Venatus. It's either an M or an N.
in Final Fantasy stuff. Remus? Remus? There he
Somebody
is.
posted a Guy Fieri meme in another Discord server of it. And I was like, oh yeah, I still need to finish Lord Gaius Fieris, Chaos Lord of Flavor Town. Where he's leading his little band of his Slanesh is like all forms of excess. So he's got his little band of Chaos Space Marines that like to eat.
Yeah. Sounds like a good gang.
I need to give the Chaos Lord frosted tips.
Yes.
That's funny. I'm not a big fan of Guy Fieri, though. Not that I think he's a schmuck, just... I don't know. Whenever I've seen him in that one show that he used to go driving around the country and everything like that... Yeah, it annoyed me all the time. That... Yeah, exactly. He's always putting his fucking hands in the fucking food. And it's like, you fucking pig. Get those goddamn ham hocks out of that thing, you son of a bitch. I know, and I would use those exact words.
Is he the real gator pig?
He might be the real gator pig, yeah. Now that you said that, I want to put frosted tips on this fucking gator pig now.
Gator pig. Oh.
The beastie
Not
I'm working on.
Anymore. It's gator pig.
he kind of always was the gator pig.
The thing you're painting right now?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's a gator pig.
Gator pig? Gator pig.
Not entirely sure how that began, but that's where I'm at.
Big Fieri.
Not here, but it's where you are now.
Yeah.
It's where you are now.
The hell's so goddamn funny?
Nah, it's just like, because I was thinking of also cleaning up one of the great unclean ones, because they would be quote unquote Slanesh, but I would be using Nurgle rules because all the Nurgle models are fat. And I want these guys to be like they eat in their fat, and their fat repels bullets. So it's just disgustingly resilient. It's just like, nah, it's just they eat so much that like the bullets kind of like hit their Space Marine handles. I don't know what to call them. Their rolls, and just kind of like slow down. So I want to get a great unclean one, clean it up, and I want the one where it has the bell, but change the bell to like a ham.
Yes.
That's an excellent idea.
I always wanted to paint a great clean one.
Well, I don't know. He'd have like grease drippings and stuff on him, so he wouldn't really be clean. He just wouldn't be like organs hanging out. He'd be, greasy. He would be the the demon that Chris is like yelling at the table, telling it to get its fucking hands out of the fucking pot.
Ham hocks.
Big frickin' ham hocks. God, that shit pissed me off. Every time I can't watch the Food Network because that every time I turn on the damn channel, he's on it, and it's like this guy can fuck right off.
And make it even better is next Adepticon Chris goes to and has an official event. I'll have an unofficial raffle where it's like, if you come dressed as Guy Fieri and put your hand in the food while Chris is looking, you'll get the army for free.
Yeah.
just so I can see Chris throw hands over somebody sticking their hand in the food.
Yeah, it'd be titled out of court settlements. That's what the army will be called. Out of court settlement. Fucking hell. Why would you want to do that to me? Why? Why would you want to do that?
Do what?
Torture me like that. Get my blood all boiling.
There you go, Matt. You want to piss Chris off? Next Adepticon he comes to, get frosted tips and a Hawaiian shirt with
Plain shirt. Yes. Fury of the Damned.
Oh, God.
Maybe put some Cheeto dust on your fingers and go, Chris, and touch your models.
Oh, God. You're giving me anxiety just thinking about that. Oh, that's annoying. That's so annoying. Why? Why?
They're sticking his hands in the food. It's food-covered hands in the model.
Why?
My
Why?
theory, he's that guy of food. Or was. Is he dead now?
No, he's alive.
Okay.
He stopped filming the Driners, Dive-Ins, and Dives. Like, it'll keep rerunning on TV because it gets a lot of views. But
Yeah.
he runs his like own restaurants and stuff now. And apparently he's lost weight because he stopped filming the show where you go and just like freaking eat everything in the kitchen.
Yeah, because he put his big fat fucking paws in there and... Fuck.
Chris would be on the show. I don't know, making jambalaya. I don't know why he's making jambalaya. Something in a pot for Guy Fieri to just stick his freaking hands in.
Fuck.
It's every restaurant he goes to, even if it's like a barbecue place, they're always making something in a pot. Like, I think there's like some unwritten contract with whatever restaurants he visited that they had to make something in a pot for him to stick his freaking mitts in.
Yeah, I know. It's... Oh, my God.
And then he's gonna reach out, right, and like crap dripping from his hands, stuff in his face, and he's gonna go, yeah. Just like emotional experience eating food right in front of the cook. Just like, what the fuck?
God damn it, man! You're triggering me. I'm.
Oh, that got me good.
I'm genuinely wound up right now.
Yeah. Okay. Let's stop.
Can we please stop talking about Guy Fieri? Fuck.
Yes.
Trying to concentrate on painting here, for God's sakes.
You actually trying to get stuff done?
I'm actually trying to get stuff done,
The
yeah.
live stream?
I know.
Months till Book of Boba.
Yep.
September.
What is interesting about that is that they have not done any teasers.
Do they have to?
No, not really.
I think we know where we're getting from them.
I think...
I remember it was released in December, right?
Yeah. I think why they're not is because Boba Fett is such a beloved character that any teaser they put out will not meet the expectation. And so it's better that it has like minimal hype so that expectations can be met and exceeded.
Is it by the guy who directed Mandalorian?
No. It's
Dave Filoni?
No, it's well, Filoni and Favreau are probably executive producer, but from what I understand, it is Robert Rodriguez.
Okay. I don't know.
Favreau was the name I was after.
Yeah.
Maybe they're learning their lesson then, from the movies where they set expectations high and it's like crash and burn.
Whoops.
It could be. I think it's more. I think Favreau and Filoni, because they know the hype that surrounds Boba. And
they were actual like fans.
Yeah, oh yeah, like they're two giant nerds, right? And so, which is good because I mean, that means that they're gonna stay true to the source material.
I know it's for
Or try as hard as they can, because I'm sure Disney wants them to do certain things.
I don't know. I suspect Filoni and Favreau. I think they have the pass, as far as Star Wars stuff is concerned. I would suspect. Just because of how big a success, obviously, Favreau has been for the last, 20 years. As I'm sure so many people within Disney and Marvel and all that, they probably have John's back as far as, his creative ideas.
Well, he did have probably the most successful Star Wars thing to come out recently, so.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Considering, though, and here's the part where I might end up shitting on the thing that I like, but what if Mandalorian only looked really good in comparison to what we got from the movies, the recent movies?
Because the movies were so bad.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed those movies. What's that?
It could. I mean, that could be a possibility, but I'm gonna live in blissful ignorance.
Sure.
Fair enough. No, I think Mandalorian in a vacuum is pretty good.
Yes, I concur. I like Mandalorian.
You get sci-fi western, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, A New Hope is pretty much a sci-fi western.
Yeah, with like what do you call the hero's quest thing?
Yeah, that's a common trope in storytelling, but yeah.
Well, I'm thinking like a proper hero's quest, yeah. It's fantasy, really.
Well, sure, yeah. But yeah, I think that's why we haven't gotten much hype around Book of Boba, because I think that anything they release, the fans it's not going to meet expectations. And so prefer to go in cold kind of thing and see what happens, right? The other one I'm looking forward to is the Ahsoka series as well.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. Because I like Ahsoka. And I like Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka.
It's a good casting, but I don't know too much about the character.
You never watched Clone Wars or
No,
Rebels?
I did a little bit, but I didn't watch all of it. So I know who the character is.
Right.
I watched the episodes that he was introduced in and stuff, but I wasn't too big on those cartoons.
No? I enjoyed them.
If you give him a little time.
No, I'm sure they're well written. I just don't like that kind of animation.
Oh yeah, I understand. That was my thought at first. I was like, this is not really for me. But then while painting, I just put it on, and suddenly I stopped painting.
Animation style is not my kind of thing. I don't want to sit there and watch it.
But here's the thing with all series, that in the later seasons it gets better. You can say that about any bloody series ever made. but they do something different with the animation and the model work and all that stuff. After a while.
Yeah, the animation style does change a little bit. The aesthetic stays mostly the same, but yeah, it does change a little bit, which is fine. Well, especially since there was a large break in Clone Wars before the final season came out.
I am also still a little salty that the previous Clone Wars cartoon was kind of just thrown to the side.
Oh yeah, that was a cool one.
Because I enjoyed it.
I think that
General Grievous was actually scary in that.
I think that was more of a test for the animated. That Clone Wars.
Yeah, Clone Wars. They have both been out for a very long time.
Oh yeah. That 2D animated one, that was before Episode 3 came out, the movie.
Yeah, no, that was in between. Yeah, that was literally came out in between 2 and 3.
Yeah, and I suspect that's why that series was animated the way it was, where it was a very quick style animation, because they were probably trying to condense it. You know, they only had a few years to produce it, write stories, and create some adventure in there, keep everybody hyped up on Star Wars until that third one came out, right?
Because I liked it, because General Grievous in that actually felt scary and intimidating.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, I'll say spoiler alert, but that show's been out for like almost 20 years.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Like that whole like ending to the first season when they introduced General Grievous, and it's like the Predator, where he's like slowly picking off.
Yeah.
Yep. That is a very good representation of him. And now I want to watch the Predator movies. Damn you.
Because that was what was slightly also, aside from the animation style, with General Grievous, at least in the Clone Wars I saw, because it was like pretty early on. He felt more like comic relief, because he's like, haha, mustache twirling evil villain, but none of his plans ever actually work.
In the 3D animated, he was more like he was a little bitch.
I don't know about that. Yeah. I mean, he does kill quite a few Jedi in that show. And like, I mean, obviously the Jedis are kind of throwaway Jedis. Ones who, only get like one episode of a story kind of thing.
Yeah.
But what's cool with the Clone Wars is how things are set up in Clone Wars that have, callbacks to earlier stuff and newer stuff. Like because like everything with, as far as being connected, having, like, if it was still George Lucas, you still would have the same kind of callbacks to the story, and as moving forward, talking about the past, talking about the future, and how everything is all connected. And you'll have little bits from the Clone Wars in the new movies. In the new movies, you'll have callbacks in the cartoons, and it's all this nice little marriage of ideas within Star Wars. And I think that's because obviously when it was Lucas, it all had a cohesiveness. Under Filoni and Favreau, it has a nice cohesiveness. And that's why, like, in Marvel, they have Feige, who oversees all the Marvel movies. And that's why everything kind of has a uniformity to it, which, people come to know and expect and, enjoy. Even though it's not, terribly challenging filmmaking, it's really just more or less storytelling. But everything still has a very similar feel, design, aesthetic, you know what I mean? Everything like that. And you look at things like DC and everything they're trying to do with that. They're trying to emulate what Marvel's doing, but they haven't built it up. They're just trying to slap whatever they can out there. And so you have this really disconnect between all the films and all the different styles. And, now mind you, that allows for a lot of creative freedom to tell a story. But if you're trying to build this overarching kind of, franchise, I don't think it works very well for DC. And yeah, you need somebody who's just the singular voice, who's overseeing all this stuff, to have everything cohesive. Because with Star Wars, like Rebels. Like, yeah, most people don't even know who's Ahsoka, why is she getting a show, like what's the importance of her, even though she is very significant in the greater lore of Star Wars. And in fact, Star Wars itself becomes the story of Ahsoka across all these different movies, TV shows, and cartoons. And I mean, same could be said about the droids as well, R2D2 and C3PO. One of my favorite fan theories is that the crawl at the beginning of Star Wars, that is R2D2 recounting to us the story.
Yeah, that's a good theory. I like that.
Wouldn't it be C3PO?
No, because C3PO has been mind wiped.
Oh yes.
But R2D2 has never been mind wiped.
That's right.
Come on, you fucking nerd.
I don't know. I'm not a nerd because I didn't remember C3PO was mind wiped a whole bunch of times. So, your card revoked, I guess.
Yeah, turn in your fucking card. Turn in your card. You're out.
I'll just then I'll go to the DFB and get my normie card.
Normie card. My normie card. Fuck. That's funny. But yeah, I often really like that one. I heard that one somewhere. I can't remember where. But yeah, the story of Star Wars is being told to us by R2D2. Because
aside from like some of the side stuff, I think he's been in every major movie, or almost every major movie. No, every major movie, because he was in the ship that what's her name, Princess Leia was in January 1.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
Yeah. I don't think did he appear in Mandalorian. I don't think he did.
No. But Mandalorian.
Been on Luke's X-wing.
Right, but Mandalorian doesn't have a crawl.
Oh, right. Oh, you're right.
Shut up.
I didn't think about that. It has like a proper like westerny kind of like intro to it, where it's like flashing concept art on the screen, and it's like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
There is no text scroll.
Yeah.
You don't need one.
Did Rebels have a text scroll?
Nope. No, it doesn't. Does it? No, it's kind of like Clone Wars, I thought.
Oh yeah, there's Clone Wars has a narrator.
Yeah, because Clone Wars is like.
Voice ever.
Yeah, Clone Wars has the narration, like it's kind of like how it's presented is. In the beginning, it's like the old serials, where in this week's episode, so and so are fighting off this thing, and you know what I mean. It's that kind of narration at the beginning. It's an old style narration, and I'm sure that was probably Lucas's idea, or Filoni, one of the two. They wanted to have that kind of old newsreel kind of vibe, because it's obviously a story about the war, right?
Because it doesn't follow. Like Anakin and stuff exclusively. I think it jumps around a few times with different characters.
Majority is Anakin and Obi-Wan, yeah.
Well, yeah, majority, but sometimes they jump around because I think like Yoda had his own episode.
Yep.
So I guess it makes sense there would be text crawl because R2D2 wasn't in every episode.
But yeah, I thought that one was kind of a fun theory.
The Toon Dwarf is done and is now in the Discord.
Cool. I'll check that out in a bit. I am currently spending way too much time on Flesh.
Yeah, I was just about to do that, but then I was like, nah, fuck it, he's done. You're done, son. You're done.
So, I guess the only paint project I've really been working on consistently is the Bugman like Bugman's grandson or great grandson in AOS. Because it's not Bugman. It's not Bugman himself. It's like his descendant in Age of Sigmar. I painted him kind of like Bavarian / Oktoberfest theme. And now I'm like, well, he needs some other sky dwarves to hang out with him. So I'm thinking of getting like the airship and a couple balloon boys and some Arcanaut crew, and then on the sides of the balloons and stuff, doing that like blue and white checkering.
Oh, okay.
And just really like go with the theme that I painted up. I think his name is Bug Benson. Go really run with that theme that I painted him with.
Bug Binston?
Bugminson. Like Bugman?
Son.
Yeah.
Who the hell is a Bugman again? I know he has a paint.
He's the dwarf.
Yeah.
Like the dwarf mascot for the restaurant at Warhammer World.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time. Do I have?
Oh, that guy!
Yeah, he's
I know exactly who that is.
Yeah, he's a fantasy
the
dwarf.
White dwarf. Grumman,
Yeah, I have him
Doll.
somewhere.
There's Grumbendall, and then there's Bugman. And Bugman is like wasn't fantasy. He was like the big, master brewer of ales. And then he became Warhammer World's restaurant's mascot. Where if you go to Warhammer World and go to the restaurant, you can buy his mini or something.
Yeah. Well, it's Bugman's Bar.
Yeah, it's Bugman's Bar, but
yeah. And you like beer, and they offer quite a few beers, craft beers.
Yeah, I want to go there. When COVID's over,
let's go.
Go on trips. I want to go there.
Let's go.
Too far for me, sadly.
Let's get
You're closer than us.
Oh, it's in England. Well,
yeah, Warhammer World's in England.
For me to travel to say London is cheaper than traveling to Oslo.
Really?
Yep.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
But the Christmas mini, or was it the Boxing Day mini? I don't know. It was the special dwarf they released last year around the holidays. His name was also Bugman, but he was Bugman's son, and he was supposed to be like the great grandson of Bugman.
It's the Caradon dude, yeah?
Yeah. He's raising his little beer mug. He's got like
Jakob Bugmanson.
Yeah.
The 11th.
So I was thinking, because I have him painted kind of Oktoberfest Bavarian themed, where all the cloth on him is like blue and white checkered. Because there's like that crest thing behind his head is like all like cloth, so I painted that blue and white checkered. So I was like, well, he needs some dudes, so I was like, well, I've always wanted to paint the Sky Door, so I was like, I'll get a couple balloon boys, a couple of normal dudes, and one of the boats, and on the side of the leg, whatever those little like balloon things are, just the blue and white checkers and stuff to make them fit the theme.
You should get like a Slaneshi demon with Oktoberfest dress and call her a Bugman's hoe. Silence.
Yeah.
Deafening silence.
Because I'm like super focused, like looking at the models, like, I want that one, and I want that one.
Yeah, get them all. If you can't tell, in my friend group, I'm the enabler. Yeah, do it, fucking go. Who cares if it's a lot of money? It's Warhammer, you like it, right? Yeah.
I don't really need an enabler, because I'll just do it. I want it.
He's got low impulse control.
Yeah.
Oh, I know how that is. But now we have someone to blame.
Who?
Some hairy Norwegian fuck.
No, I already blame Chris.
Hey. You can't blame me.
There we go. Even if he's not present, it's always Chris.
Now the theme and glory theme stuff in again.
Well, I just noticed on the Arcanaut frigate for the Caradon Overlords, you can have like a little crew members dangling off like re-riveting panels on the boat and stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Caradons are great.
Are they your
A
jam
friend of mine
sheep?
painted his Caradons like ceramic, like they had ceramic armor.
Oh, that's
It
interesting.
was, yeah, I was really impressed. That was really cool.
Yeah. Are they into sharing their pics?
I don't know. I don't know if he still has them.
Gotcha.
And my lure for this little, I don't know what I would call them. I'd have to look at like towns in Bavaria or something. But Caradon Overlords are kind of like, they're not pirates, but they work for treasure. You know, like, well, these guys aren't necessarily looking for like treasure, like, you know, chests full of gold. No, they're looking for the best ales in the realm. That's what they're looking for.
If they're pirates, aren't they looking for booty?
Yeah, well, these ones aren't pirates.
Oh.
They're looking for Pokemon, so
They're looking for the best ales in the realms, mortal realms.
Is there an immortal realm?
I would guess the realm of chaos, or maybe the realm of death, because everybody seems to be immortal there, or undead, I guess. Maybe not immortal.
Shyish. The Shyish Dram. Well, that's not really an ale, is it now?
Are you asking us or are you telling us?
No, I'm just correcting myself.
I really want that Arcanaut Ironclad. He's got like a crew member dangling off the side of the ship with a big paintbrush, repainting the hull.
Kim, how is the sculpting of the claws on that beast? It's not the best on the one I'm painting. I don't know. His claws, like, I don't know if they're I don't know if you call them claws or big long ass fingernails. They look more like long ass fingernails. I don't know. They're pretty cool though.
Now I'm looking at the names of towns in Bavaria, trying to pick a name for these Caradon Overlords.
I've completely forgotten where Bavaria is.
Isn't that typically referred to as like Germany? Like within Germany?
Yeah, it's
southwestern province of Germany.
Yeah, there we go, southwestern. Because I know it's like a. Now it's Germany, but
South,
yeah, it's
southwest.
like a region.
Southwest is Württemberg. Southeast Germany is Bavaria. Like that little bump that comes off of Germany, the very bottom, and on the right side of it.
Yeah, is it close to Belgium and stuff like that?
No, that is Württemberg in Westphalia. It's closer to like the Czech Republic and Austria. And
Ooh. Oh, okay.
I said
Well,
west,
I've never
but
been. Oh, well, there you go. Also, I've never been a genius at the geography.
Well, who is known to be a genius at I was going to say photography, at geography?
But I did think I saw a name of a town, and it was either Amberg or Bamberg. And if it was Bamberg, that's gonna Bamberg. There it is. That's gonna
Humboldt?
that's going to be the name of my Caradon Overlords, and I just need to come up with a second half to the name that doesn't make it sound like a football team. The Bamberg Brewers, but then I was like, that sounds like a football team.
Sounds like a hockey team.
Or a hockey team, whatever.
Well, because there's already a Bruins.
There's the... I mean, there's a Brewers baseball team in Milwaukee. Surprise, surprise.
Mm-hmm.
They brew a lot of beer. Kind of like how the reason the Pittsburgh Steelers are called the Steelers is because Pittsburgh used to be a steel-making town or city.
Yep, it's a steel town. Well, the logo for the Steelers is an old ironworkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like playing 40k, but I like the AOS models a lot more.
It's not an unreasonable thing to like or even state. Personally, I mean, like, I don't collect Kruleboyz, but I think this model's fantastic. I'm not about to rush out and buy a whole bunch of these, but I'm totally having fun painting this thing.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's, I think it might be because, it is kind of one, it's fantasy, two, it's a kind of newer IP in terms of GW, so they haven't really, like, a Space Marine has been established what a Space Marine looks like for about, 30 years?
Yeah, I'd give or take.
Whereas with AOS, they can kind of invent new things.
Definitely.
Whatever they fancy.
Yep.
An Eldar is kind of established what an Eldar looks like. The Space Marine's kind of established what a Space Marine looks like. I mean, they can make some variations, but at the core of it, like, no matter how many Templar bits you put on a Templar Space Marine, he still looks like a Space Marine.
Yeah. I concur. No, I think AOS, as far as model design and everything like that, they're just really fantastic. I'm jealous that people getting into Age of Sigmar, like really getting into Age of Sigmar, have all these really awesome models, and us 40k and especially Eldar players are kind of left in the wind.
Left in the wind or working off of a standard template.
Yeah.
I just made an STC joke.
Oh, you got your nerd card back.
I mean, even the new primary Space Marines look like Space Marines, but the new vehicles, they'll look like Space Marine vehicles. They're big, they're boxy, and they share the same angles with the Rhino.
Yeah. I mean, as far as like a visual language, sure, it works very well. But I don't know. It's
As far as like the grass is greener on the other side, yeah, AOS is getting some pretty kicking new models.
yes, exactly, and that's where I get kind of annoyed because as an Eldar player, I want an update to my models utilizing all this wonderful technology that they've been employing.
I mean, I like the new Jane Czar model, but she is quite literally just Jane Czar but bigger.
Sure, yeah, that's all I want. But her pose is far more dynamic than her original.
Poses a lot. I want to get a second one and paint it in the classic Jane Czar scheme where it's like more purpley. Because right now it's more bone. I think the official color scheme.
Her original color scheme.
Well, the old metal model I think was like a purpley kind of.
Damn, I'm trying to remember. Because it all came out in the second edition, is when this Phoenix Lord and all this shit came out. I'm trying to think, what the hell was she painted like?
She was like a white, purple, kind of off-white kind of color. Off-white, I guess. And like some purple thrown in, and then some black thrown in. I'm looking at the colors right now. I do want to refine. I made a mistake. I got rid of my old Jane Czar model when the new one came out. I was like, that was a mistake.
Yeah, I've done that before. Not the Jane Czar, but like when a new version of a kit comes out, yeah, I've gotten rid of it. Like for example, like Wraith Lords. I got rid of my Wraith Lords when the new Wraith Lords came out. That was a mistake. I should have hung on to them.
Jane Czar is my favorite Phoenix Lord because I think she looks different enough and cool looking.
Hold on. I have my lightsaber up on my shelf.
She has the big
Wait. Oh, somebody joining on the YouTubes.
Chris has graduated from playing with the Nurgling to playing with the lightsaber.
Why not both?
A Nurgling lightsaber? I like. I like where you're going with this.
You worked in the same room with a shelf full of models.
No, because like I have my lightsaber in front of my books, and so every time I want to get a book, because I'm just busting up my Eldar Codex here, because I don't even recall what the hell Jane Czar looks like painted up.
She was like white armor with black accents and like purple like tabards.
Oh, you got yourself a relic out there.
Ah, there she is. Yeah, that's what she originally was painted like. It's black and goldish.
Oh, going back even further. Yeah.
Well, this is when she first came out.
Yeah.
This I would qualify as her original scheme, even though this is like the Phoenix Lords. I mean, like the way that all the Phoenix Lords are painted. Oh, aside from even Candris or Fagin, whatever, they don't really look like they're. Well, like that color scheme. Plus, too, like these color patterns are, they're really, really old. Huh?
Can I ask a favor?
No.
Okay.
What?
I was going to ask if you could take a picture of that page.
What for?
For me, with the Phoenix Lords on it. So I want to paint Jane Czar in that classic scheme, the original scheme.
All right.
I was just asking. Yeah.
Oh, right then.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
I think I've actually painted the Flappy Bird Phoenix Lord. Was it Baharov?
Yeah. This is one of my favorite pieces of artwork by the artist Mark Gibbons. I would love to get the original. He had the original, but he sold it. It's in somebody else's collection. But the other person apparently who has this in their collection, they're a very well known named personality within this realm. I got to meet Mark Gibbons at Adepticon. I can't remember which one. It was like 18.
You mean the converted model?
No, I'm talking about this art piece.
Oh, the actual art piece.
Yeah, the actual. I'm only concerned with the actual art. Anyway, I got to meet Mark Gibbons, and he signed it for me.
Oh,
Yeah, that's his original art signature there. That's in the print, but that's him with a nice old Sharpie. Yeah, he actually gave me a hug for busting this out on him. He was like, "Whoa, you brought this book?" Because I brought this to Adepticon for him to sign, right? So yeah. Oh yeah, like his art style, you know, was my favorite. Like even this one here, this art piece here, Jane Czar by Mark Gibbons, like that's just fantastic. Yeah.
With the new plastic model, you could probably chop it up.
Oh, you could totally do this pose with that new kit. Easily. And in fact, like this almost you could easily do.
Maybe.
I learned something new today.
Because even her hair goes in the right flow, and her loincloth thingy is almost in the right flow. All you have to do is just straighten out her
legs and arms.
Her legs are like her thighs. I think are that close together, or are they in a like a stand?
Yeah, but they're more like canted, like she's leaping off of something.
Yeah. And here's another great piece. This one here, Mugen Ra. That's another great one. You can see the other Dark Reaper in the distance. Yeah, that's another great classic. So many great pieces that were made by the guy. Even this one here, Dire Avenger. Just a really cool pose.
You know, with GW's love of putting characters in classic poses as of recently, if the Eldar get updated, maybe they might pull some poses from that book.
You never know, yeah. It's another good one.
A lot of the recent like Space Marine characters that have been Primaris and then sculpted in like retro like art poses, like Elbrick. He's in a pose from an art. Tigurius is in a pose from some art.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, like a lot of the stuff these days has been, you know, very much callbacks
New
to
models, but throwback to kind of get people in on that nostalgia to buy the new stuff.
Yeah. Well, it also lets everybody know that, you know, hey, they still have control of their IP kind of thing, right? Damn. Oh yeah, I never showed you guys that. Did I show you guys? I got this one. This McFarlane Duder. Still waiting on my goddamn pre-ordered artist proof of this one, but.
Hey, you posted that in Facebook Discord.
Yeah.
Still waiting on your artist too.
Yeah. Fucking bastards.
Do flayed ones put the flesh on themselves? Or is it what's the deal there?
Flayed ones?
Oh, flayed ones have always put flesh on themselves.
Yeah.
They suffer from a virus where they want to have like actual skin.
I want to be a real boy.
Yeah, pretty much. Except instead of wishing to a fairy godmother, they fucking just flay you.
Yeah, they just kill you and take your skin off.
Yeah.
That is pretty fucking messed.
They basically Hannibal Lecter your ass.
Yeah, there's some Silence of the Lamb shit.
Yeah. Hello, Clarice. Yeah. Yeah, they're scary balls.
It puts the two thin coats on the skin or it gets the hose again.
I like that. That's funny.
I know.
I'm here all night.
I used to work with somebody who worked a graveyard shift. He was like, I'm here all night.
literally here all night. Yeah, graveyard shifts are sometimes very tough, but if it's the only thing you do, that becomes your new norm.
Yeah.
And you also gain the wonderful ability of vitamin D deficiency.
Yeah, most of my working life, I worked night shifts. Never saw my kids. And it was glorious.
There's those damn shitlins.
No, I'm just kidding. No, because in the last 10 years, I've had the opportunity to, be more involved in, shaping the minds of my children.
Yeah.
Little bastards. Anyway. Everybody's like, "Aw," and then realize, he's being an asshole again.
When are you not being an asshole?
Sleeping. That's it.
But are you being an asshole in your dreams?
Probably.
Then you never stop being an asshole.
Only were an asshole in my dreams. What?
I'm
Shaking.
trying to look up the scheme of classic James Art on Google, and haven't found. Oh, nope, I found a picture. Let's say I haven't found a picture, but guess what? Like one of the top results was the Fresh Tips tutorial of painting James R's shoulder. I was like, that's not the classic scheme.
No, my scheme was inspired by another miniature painters. Not Jane Czar, but just this play on color. Oh, it was the Night Haunt. He was painting the ghosts, and I loved how he had this blue magenta vibe going on top of this pale color. And I was like, "Fuck, that's really fucking cool. I'm gonna borrow that." And I decided Jane Czar would be my canvas for that one. Probably one of the rare times that I've like borrowed another artist's color scheme, because normally I don't do that kind of thing. Not out of some sort of principle or anything like that. Just I like to think of my own ideas and
If I make one reference to Silence of the Lambs, and there it is.
What?
It's like I was looking on eBay for some stuff, and it's like, oh, Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, is it showing up in your search results now?
Yeah.
Don't you love being tracked?
I feel bad for my FBI agent.
I do too.
The FBI agent watching me eat my fifth jar, man. Please stop.
Yeah, my God,
Like
man.
those memes where it's like the FBI agent watching me eat my fifth jar of mayonnaise. It's like a picture of a dude eating mayonnaise, but then under it, it's like the FBI agent, and it's like the very sad crying cat going, "Please stop."
Yeah, that's. I mean, I should be the last person to judge, but dude.
Hey, look, man, I don't think I could eat 5 jars of. I think I would puke after like the first.
I'm getting fucking woozy just thinking about it.
Yeah, just straight up eating mayonnaise. That sounds.
Yeah, that's fucked, dude.
nasty. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum, but holy shit.
Yeah.
A lot of egg.
Yeah. Get the protein.
Now, speaking of mayonnaise, does anybody else eat tomato sandwiches?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
What?
Tomato sandwiches.
It's a North American / Southern thing.
Yeah, I like
It's
tomato
just-
sandwiches.
Potatoes on the sandwich.
It's
Yeah.
white bread with tomato and mayonnaise.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the way I like it is toasted.
Yeah.
Couple nice thick slices, mayonnaise, salt and pepper.
Yeah, but what kind of bread?
Fucking toast it. I don't know. Pick a slice of fucking bread and toast it.
Before you cooked it.
Brioche.
Is it white bread or wheat bread?
It's whatever is in the house.
It's
I don't eat a lot of bread, so I'm not really like, oh, we gotta have white bread, we gotta have whole wheat, we gotta have this, gotta have that. You know what I mean? I don't.
Gotcha. Just it's like I don't typically care unless I'm eating a tomato sandwich. And then like
Oh, okay.
It's gotta be Wonder Bread. I have to go for the full like experience.
Holy shit.
The full because the tomato sandwich is like one of my European friends likes to call it a struggle sandwich.
What?
A struggle sandwich.
What's that mean?
No, because that sandwich came out of like people being poor, kind of like.
Yeah, okay, it's like an end of the month thing.
A struggle.
Like, associated with the South of the United States, tomato sandwiches is because, you know.
Poor?
Yeah, poor. You have to get by it.
Poor's not a bad word.
No, I was just like, I don't know.
Tons of people are poor. I grew up poor.
Now, is poor Canadian poor?
Yeah, I don't know if Canadian poor is the same as American poor.
Yeah. You say it different. Does that mean it's different?
Yeah. Well, no, because I mean, like, okay, not to harp on the same old talking points, but when we get sick, we're not in debt, right? So,
Yep.
again, I mean, not to jump on the same old tired fucking comments, but.
Okay, comedy.
But you know what I mean, right?
No, I get what you mean. I was just being facetious about the way you said poor. You said it with that slight Canadian, like.
I mean, I say poor.
Poor? That's how I say hooer.
Either, I don't know, it changes for me. Either I say poor or I say poor. Depending on which English person I've talked to lately. But English being being a second language, it fluctuates.
Right. Before I went over to the UK on G-Dub's dime, I was researching up the accents, trying to get an ear for it before I was subjected to it all, and I found it all very fascinating how like English accents can change by, you know, situation, circumstance, and, you know, things like that. How like your accent is only situational, essentially. It's not like.
I find it interesting because, like, typically in North America, I don't know how it is in Canada. It's probably the same. Typically in North America, you have to go a good ways for the accent to change.
Yeah.
You typically have to go to another state.
Yes.
In the UK, you can get in your car and drive 5 miles down the road to the next town, totally different accent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We have the same here in Norway. It's one town over and it's a completely different accent.
Really.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
20 minutes, no, not even. 8 minutes of driving, and you got a different accent. Or dialect, I should say.
Right.
Yes, in Florida, depends how country you get.
Hey, Grim.
No, because most of the sides, due to the immigration of either people from like Cuba or other countries and or Northerners coming down to retire, the sides of Florida have next to no accent really. But as you get to the center of Florida, you can tell more of a country accent, which is interesting.
Yeah, I've found that when you get into northern Florida, they sound more like Southern Americans.
Yep.
Yeah. They have that Southern drawl.
Quite.
Try and hide mine. Sometimes it leaks
My
out.
sniffer broke.
Especially when I start talking for long periods of time.
So good.
Yeah.
My
'Cause-
rate of talking also slows down. When it comes out, my rate of talking actually does slow down.
Yeah, because like I've been in Jacksonville, and yeah, they sound just like Georgia. Although I'm sure it's distinctly Jacksonville, but yeah.
It's like depending who you them to be fighting words.
Well, yeah, I mean I get that, but to an outsider's ear, it sounds very similar. As I'm sure to many people, English accents. You know what I mean? Like the different areas of London, you probably can't frickin' tell the difference between the accents.
I can tell Cockney and non-Cockney. That's the extent for me.
Yeah, and there's probably like 20 different accents for London.
Oh, yeah, bruv.
Quite.
But it-
Why?
But yeah, the whole thing's very interesting. I mean, how, you know, the accents change depending on your situation and, like, you know, who you're talking to and all that rigmarole.
Indeed.
Whereas in the States, it doesn't, or even in Canada, it doesn't feel like that. Although, when I am hanging out with family and, you know, we're having a conversation, I'll find myself emulating their speech patterns like I was when I was living there still. So you'll end up sounding very res, as the term goes.
What does res mean?
Res, like reservation.
That's just me breaking a plate. Never mind.
I big brain remember stuff that Chris tells me. I knew what he meant.
I
Right.
don't think he ever told me that. I was about to ask as well, honestly.
Yeah, so like,
You're gonna have to repeat that because I just broke a fucking plate and couldn't hear anything.
well, like Native Americans, we tend to have a very similar kind of accent, even though there is a difference between people.
Oh,
You know, our speech patterns are
Yeah.
are similar.
I understand now.
Yeah, just like any other group of people on this planet. I mean, you know,
Indeed.
Oh yeah, we have the same here.
yeah. But when I'm hanging out with family and stuff like that, and especially if I've been drinking or whatever, yeah, and we're all sitting around having some laughs, and then all of a sudden, yeah, the accents start coming out.
Same with me. If I speak with my the northern part of my family, which is most of it, I switch over.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been pretty good at masking my accent
I don't think my accent really changes when I'm sober.
because when it comes out,
It comes out.
it sounds like I'm on low battery.
That sounds like a low
Southern,
battery.
and it sounds like I'm on low battery.
Oh, low battery. I get. Yeah.
That's funny.
I got ya.
That's funny.
No, that's why in Discord it has my name and in parentheses low battery. When the chats were so active and I would be in there for a couple hours talking to people, like be like, oh, Boop's going on low battery. This
All makes sense.
southern drawl would come out and then the speech pattern would get slower and slower.
Right. I will say though that one of my favorite accents in the South is a Tennessee accent. Not just because I lived there for a while, but I don't know, just...
Like, how Tennessee are we talking about? Like, Dolly Parton, Tennessee?
Well, yeah,
Not that exaggerated.
Memphis. I lived in Memphis for a while.
Sounds like, because there's typically two, when people say Tennessee, there's two things they're typically talking about. They're either talking about Memphis, or they're talking about Dolly Parton, like the super exaggerated, like...
Dolly Parton. Sounds familiar.
Dolly Parton, you don't... Oh, grim.
country singer with big hair.
With big hair. Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing that's big.
Yeah. That's what we'll say.
I
Big...
know who you're talking about now.
She's known for the big hair. Yes.
Thank you, PG.
We've been dropping F-bombs. We're talking all sorts of silliness.
Yeah, well, okay, in PG-13, you know, you have a limit of how many, like, F-bombs you can put down.
Isn't that like 5 or something though?
I actually don't know.
For
I
PG...
think it's like between 1 and 5 for some reason. I don't know why I think that.
Yeah, I think for PG, an F-bomb, I think you're allowed 1.
In PG-13, you're allowed, like, a certain amount more before it becomes R.
Yeah. Something like that.
So I haven't dropped any C bombs, so that's apparently that's really bad.
C-bombs, what? Cuck?
No.
But at least I don't know what you're talking about.
Was
Go ahead.
Chris say letter off?
Let her off.
By a T.
Oh, you just say it. I haven't said cunt.
Oh.
I was thinking, okay, I was right then.
Because he said cuck, and I was like, can I buy a T?
I was about to say, does it see you? I'm like, oh wait, it's public.
Playing with a watching now.
And you know, sheep, that word, man, that's a mean word on this side of the planet.
You know, it is. For me, it's, well,
What's a mean
I'm
word?
indifferent.
Cunt.
Yeah, and especially in England, that's like, ooh, well, we don't go there.
Yeah, you just...
That's what you say when you're very upset.
Yeah. Like, especially if you say it to a woman in anger, holy man, you...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, I've been hanging around with a very different English crowd. Like, a lot of the Brits I hang out with say that all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I do.
Yeah, it's a
Very
term of
angry
endearment.
Brits.
It's practically just, you know, a common word.
Never towards me,
It's
I
like
could
when
say.
it's like when New Yorkers say "fuck you." They're actually being really nice.
Among the lads, it's more like that thing. But if you just say it randomly on the street, people will get pretty upset.
Well, sure. I mean, like saying bud. I mean, you know, when you say it to your friends, it's like, hey, bud. And like, hey, how's it going? But then if you say it to a total complete stranger, usually that means that you're about to square up.
Hostility, yeah.
Yeah. You say, hey, bud.
I'm
And it's
not
like,
your buddy guy.
yeah, I'm not your buddy guy. I'm not your friend guy.
I'm not your friend, buddy.
Exactly. Like even the startups to a fight in Canada, you know, it's a lot of chirping first, and then the hands get thrown.
Well, because you have to sign a social agreement, make sure everybody agrees to the fight.
I'm just thinking, it's like, what's the easiest way to start a fight?
You have to get the
I don't know.
the politeness. You know, you have to make sure everybody has consented to the fight.
It's the same in
You have to go
England
over
with
the
mate.
rules.
Just
What
remember,
is allowed, what isn't allowed.
you wouldn't want to mob the... Actually, what was that? Bloody hell. I forgot the phrase.
Bloody hell. Bloody Nora.
What? Oh, sorry. I'm like, wait.
No, I was just riffing off.
Probably one of the few people in Florida who say that as like their go-to phrase, I guess. Who aren't snowbirds. Where isn't a snowbird? Because you don't really hear that in Florida, Mississippi, or any place like Mobile.
Mobile?
Yeah, Mobile, Alabama.
Oh, I know Mobile.
My pappy's from Birmingham.
Home to Mobile, Alabama.
Has a battleship. I like the battleship. You see it every time you go over the bridge.
Did you get that reference? Did you get the reference?
Yeah.
The reference?
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
The reference to that? I missed it.
I'm too European to get it. To not get it. You have to get it before the top.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Forrest Gump.
Oh.
When he came back from the war and he's in DC and he meets Jenny again.
Yeah.
He's
Jenny.
like, you come back home to Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah.
Kind of excited for tomorrow because tomorrow might be a half day at work or like a quarter day because it's supposed to rain. It's supposed to rain real bad.
Well, it's been raining on and off quite a lot today.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Generally, it happens earlier in Florida. Earlier in the season, that is.
Grim, what's the temperature like there?
Let's see.
Non-freedom height.
I was gonna say in Celsius for your benefit. I'm so used to thinking of it. Also helps if I type in weather rather than just where I'm from. And let's see. It is 26 degrees and 77% humidity.
Go to hell.
Oh, it's humidity's gone
26.
down to 77% humidity. It's 26 degrees Celsius. Oh, it's gone down in humidity. It used to, I think earlier it was up to 95.
26 in October. Holy Moses.
Yeah, it's the tie for the second lowest this week. The average looks like it's going to be between 27 and 28. One tie, Saturday, it looks like it's go down to 23. Oh,
At
wait.
those temperatures, I just don't function as a human.
Apparently 23 is low for tonight. Alright then.
It is.
Wait, what was the high for today? No, gotta be higher than that. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's just a very humid day, so I thought it was warmer.
Grim?
Yep.
You're pissing me off.
Why? Is it cold there or something?
Yeah, man, it's fall. The fucking trees are dying.
Oh,
and...
yeah. That's the thing. I wait till winter just purposefully talk my European, Canadian friends, but I don't think about that in fall.
Yeah, everything's...
That's Northern Hemisphere, boys. We're...
Yeah,
I'm like, what snow?
everything around us is dying.
We're just like, yeah, like, you can probably still grow stuff.
Nope.
Bring pepper plants to the yard's doing fine.
Maybe a potato.
I think it might be too sandy for potatoes in my area. I'm not certain.
Chris, you're Canadian. You're supposed to like cold.
I'm curious if you can grow potatoes in Florida.
Probably.
Yeah, that would be
Probably.
massive.
You kind of like grow them anywhere. So.
I do like the cold. Winter is one of my favorite parts of the year. Only because there's relatively lower humidity and no bugs.
And I was just saying, because you're like, Grip, you're making me mad. He was talking about it being like 73 degrees.
Well, I mean, like, I'll take warm, sunny weather over fucking clouded skies and short days. I mean, like, already the days are getting short around here.
I like the winter, and I like the snow, but most importantly, I like the holidays.
For reference, the day is cloudy for us. I think it's still 23 was the high.
Like,
We know.
My indoor temperature is 18, 19 degrees.
Yeah, that's what we keep our place at.
I keep
Not
mine
like
at-
livable.
I
Yeah.
keep mine at 75.
Okay, shut up.
Yeah, I keep mine around 24
Grim.
because I'm
Grim,
quite
where do you
cheap.
live? Stop
Florida.
using the communist views.
I'm being polite. 75 degrees Celsius.
In freedom
I
units.
think-
Degrees Celsius, you'd be dead.
It's better dead than red anyway.
I mean, you wouldn't be dead, but you wouldn't be happy.
Unlike
I don't know. I don't think communists would be very happy in Florida with certain areas of the countryside, shall we say?
Unlike most people, I have actually tried learning both systems of measurement, so I don't sit there and go, well, use this one. No, use this.
I try to learn both, then forget, and then look it up so I can read it in both.
Yeah, Google is your friend. The only thing I know for certain that it's minus 40 is both. Is the same for both. As in feckin' cold.
Yeah. As in say good night.
As in coming to my tent.
Is that a common pickup line in Norway?
Ah.
Apparently the coldest it's ever gone in Florida on record was in the 1800s. It got to be almost minus 19.
Since we're on the tangent of discussing temperatures, the reason why Fahrenheit water freezes at 32 degrees instead of 0 is because when they measured like Fahrenheit, when they came up with it, they used some kind of saline solution instead of water.
The more you know.
Oh, you're really working on getting that nerd card back, eh?
Please, can I have some more?
I can't say anything. I work in a library. My
Kim.
entire purpose is truly to help.
But Norway is pretty long, so it's like 3,000 kilometers between me and Barfing. Oh, yeah. Oh, with the dialects, yeah.
Norway's a long, skinny boy
Yeah.
with a fat bottom.
Nice.
Florida's already 721 kilometers. Feels longer than that.
I'm gonna take a swing on how many miles
I don't believe you.
3,000 kilometers is without looking it up. I want to see how close I get. I'm just going to be a big dum-dum and take 1,000 off and say it's 2,000 miles.
1,864.
Pretty close.
Indeed. Within the ballpark, relatively speaking.
I've just learned with guessing numbers is if you make it an even number that ends in zeros, you get closer.
Yeah, it works.
Because, it could be, 170 miles. But if you just say 200 miles, everybody just accepts that as the answer, even if they know it's not actually 200 miles, but it's like within the ballpark.
I'm curious.
As long as there's
The big question is, would you walk 500 miles? And then 500 more?
Oh, fuck.
I don't know, is the song playing?
In my head.
What time are we at? 2:03. You know what? I'm done. I'm done with you fucking weirdos.
Sorry?
You mean for stream music, but 6:03 my time.
Oh god.
No.
It's like I've had it with this Norwegian bullshit.
Yeah, I've had it with you fucking weirdos. I'm washing my hands of this weirdness.
For once, isn't Florida?
What weird
Florida's
stuff
been
are
up
we
to.
talking about? I'm confused.
Barfing was about to start singing a song.
Oh, I was not about to start singing it. That is dangerous. That's like saying Beetlejuice 3 times.
Don't do that either, because then he will show up and start.
What the hell?
And then start talking about boats.
Oh, you said Beetlejuice. I was about to go to, you should say Matt 3 times and spin around in a circle and look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Well, and then break it.
No, because then he shows up and he starts talking about boats.
I'm definitely not about to tag Matt in Discord and go boats. See if he appears.
Poor Matt. We shit on him all the time and he's not even in here to defend himself.
Well,
I
because
haven't even spoken to him that much. And
how you get him into the chat is you talk about him.
Yeah.
It's not working today, though. I
No.
think it's his day off.
He must be busy getting his boat ready.
He must be busy actually having a party.
Yeah.
Florida man was hungry this time.
Actually doing so.
Because Florida man left trails of a pizza trail to when deputies arrested him.
What?
Apparently some guy, Florida man, when he's arrested, he was found because he was leaving a trail of pizza as he was eating it.
Oh.
He's eating pizza and breaking into cars apparently for some reason.
Oh.
That sounds like a good night out.
I mean, there was
It is during the day. It's like midday, it looks like.
There was that Florida man who trained a rabbit, or, well, not a rabbit, but a pack of squirrels to attack people.
I remember that one. There's also the Florida man who made a private flight plan a few years ago that's literally just a dick of balls in the sky.
Yeah.
Like, flight control's like, wait a second, oh shit.
Talking about boats summons Matt. If I say Florida man, Florida man, Florida man 3 times, will that summon one of the super Florida men?
I'm an honorary Florida man through my mother, I guess.
Like, Florida man is not a person. Florida man is an entity.
Florida man,
Last
Florida man, is he here?
Last time Florida man made it near me, and apparently there's a teacher arrested for the January 6th debacle. I think he's the dude who actually was walking around the podium.
Are
Oh,
you
jeez.
happy with the skin so far, Chris?
Yeah, I'm just having a look at it on the camera, just seeing how, like,
Very nice.
what I missed and what, like, levels of intensity. The camera gives me more contrast as opposed to looking at it by eye. And so I can kind of see on camera, like, where I need more work, less work, what looks fine. And right now I think it's looking pretty darn good. I'm mostly happy with where it's at. And when I slap the head on, it should start to feel more unified. Right? And I am getting that vibe now.
Neat. That gator pig vibe.
Gator pig. Alrighty, boys. I think we're done for now. Any last words of wisdom? Grim?
Have a good one.
Boop?
If you dip your hands into the food pot when Christmas is around, you're going to catch ants.
So just don't be Guy Fury.
Don't be Guy Fieri, you're going to catch ants.
You will fucking catch a hand, yeah. Barfing, any last words?
No. Nurglings are your friend.
Nurglings are your friend. And Kim says, shave your nuts.
Or it does. I would not expect anything less.
There you go.
But when you shave your nuts, though, are you using like an electric razor? Are you using a Bic? Or are you straight razoring it?
This depends if you like to live dangerously or not.
If you straight razor it, I'm going to give you an award.
Yeah, you kind of have to be a hard ass, right? To straight
You do that
razor.
without nicking them.
Yeah. Well, shit, that would be my concern, man, is nicking my balls with a straight razor. Oh,
This is
shit.
how we're ending the show.
Yeah, that's some fucking...
You guys were talking about the Griffiths fasting stuff, but he's literally just telling you to shave your milkweed. Because milkweed is a plant that grows very, very nice.
Yeah. I hear you. I only own straight razors. Oh, man. For a while, I was using a straight razor quite a bit. Just because it was, I could maintain the mustache easier. Going around the corners and navigating all that space. But, man, like, too much of a damn inconvenience sometimes. Just take my time, and I was always nicking myself.
Too paranoid for a straight razor.
Yeah, and I definitely would not use a straight razor on my bag.
Since we're talking about razors and shaving, there was that one point I used to shave my face with a Bowie knife.
Sure, yeah. I mean, like, you know, we've all watched Crocodile Dundee at least once.
I haven't.
Do you shave with a Bowie knife?
No, I get the reference.
Oh, shit. Alrighty, boys. Let's get the hell out of here. Enjoy the rest of the day. Get some more shit done. I'm gonna go eat.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Also,
Later, yo.
I'll see you.
Later, duders.